Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Regina Paul Show. Today I am joined by the beautiful Dani Parks. Welcome, Dani.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So, Dani, tell me your story. How did you become I am Dani Parks?
How did I become I am Dani Parks? Well, I started just mentoring in my local church. And then after mentoring for a while with them, I decided to um, impact the community more. So what I was doing within the church, I decided to bring it out of the church so that I could reach those people who didn't go to church. And from there, I just started doing more seminars for moms and girls. I had a mentoring program, and everything just really started from just deciding to be a mentor, really.
Okay, so what do you mentor them on?
Excuse me?
What do you mentor them on? What did you
I
mentor?
mentor girls. I have a background, a personal background with depression and suicide. So when I was in seventh grade, it started that young. So I really tried to mentor the girls between fifth grade and seventh grade, just really impact their life about self-esteem, self-image, positive and negative thoughts. And then from there, just from mentoring the girls and pouring into them, I realized that I also had to pour into the moms so that whatever I'm teaching the girls, it can be reinforced at home. So then I started to create seminars for mothers as well, especially single moms who have a lot on their plate. And, sometimes it can be overwhelming, but to encourage them to keep a positive mindset, to remind them about self-care, and it's okay to say certain things like no. So and it just
Yeah.
started from there. That's a word that we hate to say, but it's a word that is very necessary, especially when you're a single mom and you're doing it on your own. Even if you're married, it's very necessary.
Yeah, for sure. That's so important to have that reinforcement at home. That's
Mhm.
awesome that you kind of focus at it on that aspect too.
Yeah.
Um, so it's so mainly then you're helping them to like with their confidence, and if they have any suicidal thoughts or like peer
Mhm.
pressure and all that kind of stuff at that young age is really really big, right?
Yes, it is. And then also for mothers as well, because we hold in so much. And usually, like, if you're a new mom, especially with like postpartum depression, it's to let them know like all of this is normal. Like, you're not going through anything that no one else has been through. So just to encourage them, to get them around other women who's been there, done that, and who can pour into them is very important. I know, like, you know, I know the world expects women to automatically know how to be moms, but I mean, if you've never been a mother, being a new mom is like a culture shock. It's like, oh my goodness, I have to do this, I have to do that. Next thing you know, you're like 2.5 months in, going crazy, not knowing that you need self-care when the baby's sleeping, like you don't know what to do. So I love to have like these chats with moms through my seminars, just to let them know like what you're going through is normal. Yes, your baby is going to cry for no reason, and you didn't do anything wrong. You don't have to like stress yourself out. I remember I had found myself in Walmart as a new mom, like at, oh my goodness, it had to be like 11:30 at night because my baby was crying. I didn't know what to do. I was breastfeeding. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm not producing enough. So I ran to Walmart 11:30 at night, finding formula, getting bottles, and I just happened to stop by the bookstore, the book part in Walmart, and read, around this time your baby's going to be crying because they're just crying, they're going through a growth spurt. So don't
Yeah.
stress out. Had I not read that, I mean, I had like nothing. I had a whole bunch of bottles and formula. It was completely crazy. So, I mean, if I had somebody there to tell me like this is normal, I wouldn't have been out that late at night with my newborn baby. trying to figure out what's going on with her.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I remember that too. My son actually slept through the night quite well, so I was really lucky. But yeah, we were just kind of winging it. We don't really know what's happening. We're just so in tune with our child that we just want to please them and make them be happy
Yes,
the
exactly.
whole time. So now when they're getting bigger and when you have to actually say no, it becomes a lot harder. So.
I know it does. It does.
Okay. So, how many kids do you have?
I just have one. Thank God. Just one. And a lot of other little babies that I claim, a lot of other girls that I claim, but just one in the house.
Oh, okay. Okay, awesome. And are you a single mom or?
Yes, I am single. I'm a single mom.
Okay. So you said that you were struggling with like self-esteem and suicidal thoughts in grade 7. How has that shaped you to like for today, for your job now?
Mm-hmm. So that really shaped me when I started in depression when I was in 7th grade. Unfortunately, one of my good friends, she committed suicide, and that kind of like really took a toll on me. So from 7th grade all the way up until I was about, I would say 22 or 23, it's just been my lifestyle. Like I got so comfortable with my depression. At some point, it's like you don't want to come out because you already know what to expect. I expect to wake up and have these thoughts and have a negative self-image about myself, have low self-esteem, and nothing's going to get better. My life is horrible. I mean, that's what I expected every single day waking up. And so to come out of something that you've been in for so long, it was hard at first because you have to reprogram your mind. And so I finally reached out for help. I was in the military. I was a soldier. Life was on that. If outside looking in, life was good for me, but inside internally, it was just like a complete wreck. And so when I finally reached out for help, I got the help I needed, and it's just like the way God sets everything up. I had talked myself as a soldier. I had talked myself into being a liaison at a hospital in Germany. And it was during the time that we were down in Iraq and all of that was, getting started with the soldiers in Iraq. And I made it a point to always go up to the psych ward where the new soldiers were coming in at because, they were stressed, to just talk to them, to just say, hey, you know what you're going through is normal. I'm a living testimony. Like I'm still here. I'm still in the military. I was like, and this is your career. You have to let people, you have to really impress upon people that, stress is a normal part of life and you can recover from this. And so that's kind of how I started. And then, it just went from there, just like talking about my story and telling people like, yes, you can be depressed for so many years. And it's also possible for you to come out of that type of mindset and to live and to thrive afterward.
Mm-hmm. So it then really starts then with your thoughts, choosing the different types of thoughts then to come out of that depression.
Exactly. So you have to be very intentional about your thoughts. We're just programmed to always not think the worst, but not think the best. So you have to be very intentional every single day when you wake up to have a positive thought. Like, what is going to help push and propel you through your day? Even if you have to think multiple positive thoughts throughout the day, if just one idea doesn't get you through, it's a day by day situation. And then after you start thinking your thoughts, your positive thoughts, then your behavior follows. So it's you think it, you believe it, and then you do it. And so that's how I got through, depression. And then suicide that's long behind me, and But even with that, you have to have those positive thoughts. Like, I deserve to be here on earth. People do like me. I am loved. People will miss me if I'm gone. So you really have to have, it starts with the mind. Like, so a man or woman thinks, so he or she is already. So you really have to think positive about yourself at all times.
Yeah, I love that. I love starting the day with I am affirmations, because that just kind of like sets you up for a really great day, and really being able just to deal with anyone that is not having a great day, right? And just kind of putting it into perspective, like it's okay, you can
Yeah.
have a better day. Good things are coming. Um, yeah, I really like that. That's something that I stress as well, is the I am statements and the meditation, really being focused on your thoughts, making sure that you're thinking, like you said, in a way that will propel you, move you forward.
Yes, those I am thoughts are so important because if you,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we as coaches, we can just give you great advice, but you are the one who has to believe it. Like, we can tell you step by step on what to do, but if you don't believe you can't do it, then there's only so much, there's only so much we can do.
Yeah, sure. Totally agree. Um, did you get any type of advice from someone that just really stuck with you when you were going through that hard time?
I didn't, because I actually didn't tell anyone. No one knew I was depressed. I was one of those people who was like my diagnosis was clinical depression. So I was walking around with a smile on my face, laughing and giggling with everybody. But internally, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, can I please leave? I got pills that I want to try to overdose on. And, that's just this, I'm just being real. That's literally how my thoughts were, even as a soldier in the military before I got help. So no one knew. And so when I came out and said, hey, I'm depressed, I need help, I don't want to live my life like this anymore, everyone from my parents to my good friends to my chain of command, they were all just like blown back because I was a good soldier. My PT was amazing. I did my job well. I was just like, everybody wants to be around Dani, but they never knew that this was what I was feeling inside. So I didn't get any advice. I believe when I was in 12th, not 12th grade, I'm sorry, either 10th or 11th grade, I had cut my hair and I had a band-aid on it. Like, not a band-aid, but like one of those bandages on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at one of my this lady who I babysat for. Sometimes I would just stop over her house just to chat with her. And I had it on my hand. She was like, girl, what's going on with your wrist? I was like, and I didn't, because no one mentioned it that whole day. And I was just so surprised. I was like, oh, nothing, I just, fell and hurt myself. She was like, oh, girl, phew. But I thought she was trying to commit suicide or something, because we don't do that, honey. You have too much to live for. That really stuck with me. Like, she didn't know exactly. She didn't know she had hit the nail on the head. But
Yeah.
for her to say that, it stuck with me.
Yeah. Yeah. Just something just on the side. Yeah.
Yep. When somebody actually just, I guess, acknowledge you and recognize like something's different. What is that? What is that on your arm? Why is it
Mm-hmm.
there? Just asking questions. I think nowadays we're not nosy enough. We got to start getting back into being nosy, especially when it comes to our friends and family.
Exactly. Yeah. Um, what advice would you have given yourself, your younger self, if you would like look back?
hmm So I would have given myself some advice. Just say, like, this is going to pass. Like, you don't have to be depressed. There's so much to live for. If you could only change what you're thinking right now, your life will get better immediately. It will get better in that moment when you start thinking positive thoughts. So I would have definitely encouraged myself to think more positive at an earlier age.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think a lot of girls are going through that, especially the hormones and the
Mm-hmm.
peer pressure, and not really knowing where you fit in or what to do,
Mm-hmm.
and we just kind of keep it down, right, and then take it out in a different way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We do that.
So, what is your mission then with your company?
With my company, I have a branding company. So pretty much like with brands and social media marketing, I just help people establish their businesses, get the right branding for their business, and show them how to use social media to market. I have an organization called Princesses, Pearls, and Puberty, and that kind of falls under my other life, which is public speaking. And so from there, I just create, to me, amazing seminars and events for mothers and their daughters, and just encourage them, positive self-esteem, positive self-image, and how we can work those in so that we can thrive, in our authentic selves. My Princesses, Pearls, and Puberty Party, of course, we talk about puberty, but we also touch on the mental health aspect and also safety. And so, with everything that I do, my main voice is positive self esteem. Like, you have to embrace yourself the way you are. Like, everyone is unique, everyone has something special to offer the world. And you
Mm-hmm.
denying the world of that is just denying yourself of the success that you could have as yourself, and not, you know, as someone else you want to be, like pretending. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that. It's nice.
mhm.
What is your strength?
My strength, my favorite strength is my creativity. I love creating things. I am like a creative guru. Like, anything you say, like if you tell me, Dani, I want to have an event for, I don't know, dogs. And I'll be like, okay, well, what do you think? Well, I think I want to have like some clowns there. And I'm like, boom, got it. Like, I already have it mapped out in my head. It's that way. So anyone who, everyone else, like if you want to have like a great event, a lot of people do contact me and like to consult me on like, how can I make this great? Or especially like with their businesses or any type of content that they're trying to put out. Like, my mind is ridiculous. I have to, my mind is ridiculous. So I love making content, graphics, especially doing events. That is my favorite thing to do. I'm not a decorator. Don't get me to decorate nothing. But I can bring your vision to life. I can articulate it well for you.
Wow, you sound like you're a very, very busy lady. So, do you have a breast and self care routine that you do?
I do. I love, like with me, I notice, and it's like with everyone, you have to notice like, where is your primary objective for your self-care, or area? Like, is it your mind? Is it your body? Is it your soul, your spirit? So for me, it's my body. So I often, for self-care, I will go get massages, and not just any massage. I love getting my feet massaged. So I'll specifically go get foot massages. I love just caring for my body. So just taking some downtime. I have this book right here. I just got into it. It's called How to Breathe. And so with this right here, you can't do any of these exercises like driving or standing. You know how women, we like to multitask. This right here, How to Breathe, you have to sit down somewhere quiet, like, and just like go through these exercises. And that's why I love doing this, because it forces me to sit down and really focus on my body and how to breathe it. You know, when you put more oxygen into your body in a particular way, it can help your body restore itself. So I really love doing this particular exercise when I'm meditating. And like I said, it forces you to sit down. You can't just try to multitask and, you know, do exercise like this. So I really, my self-care centers around anything that's going to help my body repair itself. And then I also have, reading my Bible, or, exercising, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Can you tell the viewers who the author is on that book? Just maybe if they want to go ahead and get that as well.
So the author of this book is called Ashley Neese, and I'm just gonna put it right there.
One more time.
See it?
Okay.
Yep, this is a really good book. And then also just reading self-help books. One of my favorite authors is Valerie Burton, so I have all of her books. So it doesn't matter which one you get; they're all good.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what is your vision for yourself and your company, like in the next 5 years?
So for the next 5 years, I plan on, with the P3 party, Princess Pros and Puberty. Definitely plan on expanding that party into different cities. Definitely getting it registered federally as a nonprofit, and also we're going to be doing like a curriculum so that we can finally start getting this program into certain schools. As far as my speaking engagements are concerned, I do plan on, doing more like corporate speaking. I really like that. The women there are great, and it's really good to just talk to women who are in their career fields and teach them about self-care. I talk about the Superwoman syndrome a lot, and just like opening their eyes to that part. Like, you can be a career woman and then also say no, so you can have your me time. Like, you don't have to be perfect in every single role that you have in your life. You don't have to be perfect at the same time all the time. I mean, you'll go crazy. So with that as well. And then I plan on opening up a brow academy. So I do eyebrows. I'm a PMU artist as well. So I plan on opening up an academy to start teaching women, how to come into a new career field and do it the right way.
Awesome. Can you tell our viewers where you're located? So maybe if they are in the same area, they can come down and.
Sure. So I'm located in Augusta, Georgia. Any of the surrounding cities like Columbia, Aiken, North Augusta, Atlanta, and anywhere in between. Y'all can find me in any of those places.
Awesome. What keeps you motivated? What keeps you going?
What keeps me going? Really, what keeps me going is that I am creating like a legacy for my daughter. That is very important for me. So that's what gets me up in the morning, and knowing that, these thoughts and these ideas. And I always tell people that whenever you have like such a grand idea or vision, like, you're not that great to think about that. Like, that's something that God has put in your life. So with that being said, what keeps me motivated, like pressing towards those goals, is that, God's going to do it. Like, I need to do my end, which is get up, get out the bed, study, write whatever it is I'm working on, whether it's curriculum or whether it's a speech or whatever it is. And just, I need to put the steps into it, and then God's going to bring the success. So that's what keeps me going. Like, I know He's not going to just leave me out here to look crazy in front of everyone, So, but
Mhm.
as long as I put in the work, then, he'll bring everything else. So that's what keeps me going. And also knowing that I'm establishing like a legacy for my daughter. She's not just going to be out there not knowing what to do with life. Like she's going to have something to fall into as well.
Okay, I love that. I love that you're building a legacy.
Yes, it's
It's
very
yeah.
important. It's a struggle. Like you have to sacrifice. There's a lot of things that you have to sacrifice, but in the end, I think it's important that we set our children up for success. Financially as well as career wise. Sometimes they may not know what they want to do, but when they come to like, hey, mom, I want to work in the business now. I'm like, okay, cool. Like you don't force them into something they don't want to do, but it's here for you.
Yeah, exactly. And I love how at the same time you are also then setting up your daughter emotionally to be able to deal with everything because you're teaching her.
Yes, definitely. Like I always ask her, she'll come to me and say something like, Mom, how do I look? I'm like, well, how do you think you look? And she says, well, I think I look good. Or I was like, well, that's all that matters. I was like, I think you look cute, but what really matters is how you feel about yourself. So,
Exactly.
mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Not looking for the approval from the outside, but have just know
Right.
giving it to yourself that I am proud of myself, right? Or
Mhm.
not looking for it on the outside. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Um, what would you want your final words to be if you'd leave this planet?
If I leave this planet, oh my goodness. Let's see. Final word. So that means I can have like more than one statement. Um, it would be like my main one is write the vision and run. So don't just write down the plans that you want to do in life and all your goals. Like write them down and then put some action behind it. One I've heard somewhere, I can't remember exactly how it goes, but the most richest part in any city is the cemetery because you have all these people who have died with these billion-dollar ideas but never put any action behind it. So I say, while you're living, like leave all of it to the world. Like just give it your all. Like when you die, you want to be like, whew, the earth didn't don't owe me nothing. Like I put everything out there. So that's one thing. Write the vision and run with it. Like whatever your vision is, put your action behind it, put your efforts behind it, and do what you're supposed to do because once you start doing that, you're going to have success. And if you don't have success, you've learned a lesson. And then you can take that lesson and apply it to a different goal. So, you know, nothing is in vain. Nothing that you do is in vain.
Mm-hmm. What are the top three lessons that you've learned so far?
Some of the lessons I've learned, what I just said about anything that you learn, you don't is never in vain. So I started with life coaching. And as I was doing the life coaching, I started to really get into branding and marketing. I was doing it for a church I was going to, and I realized I had like a natural knack for it. So I did life coaching for about a year. And then after that, I decided to start doing brand coaching. And I was kind of like almost in limbo because I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't spend all this money getting certified as a life coach. And now I don't want to do it anymore. It felt too much like counseling. Okay. And
Yeah.
I have a minor in psychology and Christian counseling. So when I say, I was like, wait a minute, this feel like a counseling session. I really don't want to do this. And so what I did was I took all of the techniques and everything I learned in life coaching and I just applied it to brand coaching. And
Mm-hmm.
it's been amazing. So that's why I say everything that you do in life is never in vain. You just have to realize how to how can you shift? How can you pivot with the knowledge that you know and leverage it into something new that you want to that you want to do. Like, for instance, if you're a nurse and you're done nursing, you don't want to do nursing anymore. A lot of brown artists, they're nurses, they're registered nurses. So you take that knowledge, that medical knowledge that you know, and you just apply it to this new technique in this new career. So that's why I say, whatever you've done in life, you've learned the lesson, and now you have to apply it, leverage it, and make it work for you.
Mm-hmm. I love that. So it's like transitioning into a different field, but still using the same skills that you
Yes,
know.
exactly.
Okay.
And a lot of people, sometimes they just get stuck because they don't know how to use those skills that they've had into like a new career.
Yeah, for sure. Is there something that scares you?
Something that scares me. I don't know if there's anything that scares me. I always say, just like face your fears straight on. Anything. Anything. Is there anything that scares me? Um, Not really scares me, but worries me. Like if something was to happen to my daughter, because like physically, like if she was to get hurt, there's nothing we as parents can do when our children get hurt. Like we can't go into their bodies and make that pain stop. So anything that has to do with my child getting hurt, that's like a worry of mine. I think that's about it. That's the only thing that could like really affect.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of mothers can relate to that.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
like mom bears.
yeah. Like if they fall down and scratch their knee, we're like, you're fine, get up. But something serious that you have to go to the hospital for. I think that's the only fear or worry that I can actually think of.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think the driving, like the driving key an entrepreneur needs? Like, what is that drive? Do you think uh, someone needs to become a successful entrepreneur?
Mm-hmm. So to become a successful entrepreneur, you have to realize that you have to put in the work. Like no one can do it except for you. You can have all of the mentors in the world, the best mentors, the best resources, but if you don't actually use it, then you're just pretty much doing a hobby. Like your business isn't a business. It's just a hobby, something you like to do every now and then. Entrepreneurs are working in their business every single day. Sometimes they put in overtime. Like you have to work your business like you're at a regular job. So, and then sometimes you have to do overtime, but you have to be willing to do that in order to be successful, especially if your goal is to be a full-time entrepreneur. I'm a full-time entrepreneur, and I have to say it's hard out here. You get tired. You get tired. Oh my goodness. But you have to know, like, if you get tired and you stop working, then your money stops. Okay. So you always have to be innovative, coming up with new things. The things that work, don't break it, just improve it. And then also as an entrepreneur, you have to know, and I love the word pivot, you have to know when to pivot. You have to know like your business is going this way and it's working. And it's not that you failed at what you really thought the direction it was going to go, but it's going this way. So go with it, pivot with it so that you can continue to have success. A lot of people don't want to change up anything, but in this world, the times that we're living in, innovation is everything. So you have to continue to be innovative. And if you're not a creative person, there's nothing wrong with reaching out to someone who is, so they can help you see your vision from a different angle.
Yeah, I love that. Ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yes, I'm always asking for help. This year, I can actually say like this year, I have definitely asked for more help because I'm one of those, like I said, my mind is just like all over the place. And so I can do everything by myself, but should I do everything by myself? And the answer is no. There are people who can do the things that you can do, better. So why not just reach out to them, network with these people so that everything comes together and you're not stressed out. And I think that's um, a key as well as to being an entrepreneur. Like reach out to the people, you work in your lane, let them work in their lane so that the vision can come to fruition quicker when you have multiple people on your team. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love that. So how did you come up with your company name?
for Princess Pearls and Puberty or for Coram Dio? Well,
Um, well, you're going as I am Dani Parks, right? So how did
yes.
you come to that?
So I am Dani Parks is just a lot of people call me Dani. So I just came up with that part. So I am Dani Parks really is really under my main company called Coram Dio, and that stands for in His presence, in God's presence. So it's really under that. So if you were to ever receive any type of email from me or any type of invoice, it would say Coram Dio Enterprise. And with Coram Dio Enterprises, it has all my seminars under it, as well as my nonprofit, which is Princesses Pearls and Puberty. And as far as like names are concerned, like how do I come up with these names? They just pop in my head. There's like no special way. There's like no formula for it. I just like, oh, that sounds good. I like it. You know, and that's another thing I do with branding. I help people pick a business name for their business. And most of the time, it's just like their name. Like sometimes you have very unique names, and that's your brand. So you don't have to be like some, this word that's like crazy. Is sometimes you are your brand.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. How has your journey affected your family?
My journey has affected my family. I guess like in a good way. When I first started entrepreneurship, I was actually working full time, and I noticed that between working and commuting to work and getting my daughter to school, and then doing everything else, like we really had I didn't have no me time. She didn't have her mommy and daughter time, mommy and me time. And so I made the decision to actually resign from my job. And it wasn't just me resigning from my job, it was actually me coming out of a system that I was in all my life, which was the government system. I was a military child. Then I joined the military. And then when I got out of the military, I started working for the military as a civilian. So resigning from my GS job, it was a huge change for me because now I'm not under that government umbrella at all. And so it was a little bit hard for me. It was kind of scary. I was like, oh Lord, I'm a civilian now. Like I'm a real civilian. That's just a terminology that we use, when you're in the military, like I'm a civilian for real this time. So just learning to live a different way, like everybody else. So and then with being an entrepreneur, because I do a lot of mentoring with girls, that really helped me because then I could bring my daughter with me to things that I was doing. I didn't have to try to schedule a babysitter or anything like that, and I always made sure that any seminar or event that I hosted and I created, it was always child friendly because, like I said, being a single mom, I know the struggle of wanting to go out and have a good time, but then you have to find a babysitter. And so I just started bringing my daughter with me. Doesn't matter what we were doing. If I was going to like a fundraising ball, guess what? She had a dress, she had her shoes, and we're going together. Like this is my date. So I always make sure that she was included in anything that I would do. Like I would be paying for $60 for a ticket. I would pay the money for her to come with me because I wanted her to be in certain environments and see, people doing different things. You're muted. I can't.
Mhm. Yeah. And I'm sure that creates then quite the bond between you two because you are really showing her this is what mommy does for a living, you know.
Yes.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you better now.
Can you hear me?
Barely. I think it's like kind of choppy.
Okay. Okay, okay, good. Yeah, what I was saying is that guess that when you're bringing, oh, okay. How about now?
I can hear you, but it's kind of
Is
on a
it just like a little bit delayed?
yeah, it's a delay now.
Okay. Um, I just have like a couple more questions, especially since our internet seems to be kind of acting up right now. um, so I guess like that, you bringing your daughter with you everywhere where you were going and to the different workshops and events created that stronger bond for her to really see what you're actually doing with your life, right? How you're impacting others.
Mhm. Can you say that last question once again? It's still on a delay.
Oh, okay. So I just said that uh, you bringing your daughter to all your events really creates a stronger bond between you two to kind of show her what you're doing and how you're impacting uh, the world.
Yes, that was very important to me, especially now that I had the time and I had the freedom to do that. I always make sure that she knows what mommy's doing. Like, this is what's possible as a woman and as a mother. You can go out and impact the world. Nothing should stand in your way. And before I had her, I was like one of those ladies that, I always had like my overnight bag packed because I would get in my car and, just hit the road and go somewhere. And so when I had her, immediately I thought, oh Lord, I won't be able to do the things that, I'm used to doing. And I was like, no, as a matter of fact, let me get her an overnight bag. And when I'm ready to hit the road, we both are ready to go. So just making sure that I was including her in everything that I was doing. I wanted her to know that, the sky is not the limit. It's only the beginning. So just showing her those things and putting her in a certain environment really helped to, you know, kind of create the person that she's coming into be now. So she's a little entrepreneur herself, and she likes doing public speaking, and she loves helping people. Like my daughter, there's a saying, she doesn't know any stranger, so she can go anywhere and she has friends. She's talking to people. She's making them feel good about themselves. So I really just like having her around and showing her these things. So I really just like having her around.
That's amazing. You guys are a powerhouse.
Yes. my little broke best friend.
I'm just going to wrap it up now. I'm gonna wrap it up since we're having it's kind of like skipping a bit here. I'm gonna just ask you one more question. What would you do in a zombie apocalypse?
What would I do when?
In a zombie
Oh,
apocalypse.
a zombie apocalypse. Okay. Okay, Walking Dead. I don't know if I was in a zombie apocalypse. Well, from watching all the shows, I don't know. I mean, I would try to survive as a human, but I mean, when in Rome, do as the Romans. So let me be a zombie as well. Why struggle? Like, why fight against it? You know, eventually we're all going to be zombies. So, I would try my best to stay human as long as possible, or try to, you know, be a hybrid. That would be cool.
um, do you have a gift, something that you would like to share with the audience today?
Yeah, just like if you are available, like just definitely follow me on all of my social media platforms, Instagram. I'm on Twitter at @IAM_Dani Parks. And if you're interested on how to get your goals going and how to like truly break through, I have this book called Breaking Through: Three Secrets for My Girls, and this is available on Amazon. And with this book, it teaches you about fasting and also teaches you, my 3 keys to actually getting started with your journey as far as how to really thrive. Once you have completed, like, these are the goals that I want for my life, not just for a season or for that particular quarter, but what are your goals for life? And this is how you can get started with it. So once again, this is A Girlfriend's Guide to Breaking Through: 3 Secrets for My Girls, and it's available on Amazon. And I believe it's $10, so it's not that much. And it has a little journal in the back. So as you're going through your fasting, you can do that. Also, ladies, like, I'm one of those people, I carry stuff in my purse. So this is small enough to carry in your purse. So listen, I had y'all in mind when I was doing this.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. So you guys go grab that book on Amazon, Breaking Through: A Woman's Guide to Achieving Her Goals. All right, Dani, thank you so much for being here. It was a real pleasure speaking with you and getting to know you, sharing your mission with everyone.
Yes, and like I said, like, for anyone who's watching, I have like a open door policy. So if you ever have any questions about anything, just look me up on any social media and just hit me up in my inbox and we can chat.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you again for being here. Thank you guys for joining us today. And I hope you all have a great rest of the Sunday. Thank you very much, Dani.
All right. Thank you, Regina. Bye, everyone.
Bye.